Another stock that is red hot, maybe not as red hot as Fubo, but Meta continues to perform, right? This stock up very nicely again here today, right? Congrats to all Meta shareholders out there. The stock just performs absolutely amazing. We're now up close to $340,000 on the stock now at this point in time. It's performing amazing. Now, in relation to Threads, Threads continues to pull in users day after day after day, now up to 108 million Threads users. And the beautiful thing about that is whenever Meta kind of wants to notify more folks about Threads, they're going to be able to over the next few months and next few quarters. So Meta's going to be able to push this thing as high as they want to push it, in my opinion. Whether that's 200 million users, 400 million, 600 million, they're going to be able to push this as they please. And if you were around in the days after Facebook acquired Instagram, I don't know if you guys remember, this is like, gosh, we're talking about this is like 2013, 14, those sorts of years. Facebook started to integrate Instagram so well with, being able to see images on Facebook that were posted from Instagram and vice versa. And they were able to kind of grow those together in a massive way. And so there's so many things that Meta can do for integrating Threads kind of into Instagram and Facebook over time, if they please to do that, if they want to do that, that they'll be able to grow that platform as big as they really want it to grow. Like if they want to grow it to 200 million users, they can grow it there. If they want to grow it to 400 million this year, they could grow it there. Like it's really up to them, in my personal opinion. And that's just, no one can compete with that. It's just such an unfair advantage. Certain companies have unfair advantages. I look at Tesla. Tesla has a super unfair advantage against all EV competition. It's not fair. Because they built out so much of everything you would possibly want to build. Like it's impossible to compete with that company. And in terms of Meta on the social platform side, it's literally impossible to compete with them. And I think Musk is starting to realize that competing with Meta is as hard on the social platform side as competing with Tesla is on the EV side. It's an impossible competition. So in terms of Meta stock price, I wouldn't be surprised if the stock continues to perform tremendous throughout the remainder of this year. I mean, I can't wait to see the EPS numbers in 3Q, 4Q. Oh my gosh, okay, the growth year on year is going to be absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, and I continue to forget, Meta Quest 3 is coming, right? I mean, my gosh, like, the numbers that's going to do this fall is ridiculous. So many exciting things going on for Meta, it's ridiculous, right? Now, Amazon continues to perform pretty well, not like Meta's performing, right? But I don't know if you guys know this in regards to Amazon, good old Amazingzon, and what's going on here, essentially. Well, right now, Prime Day is going on, right? And so a lot of people are interested in Prime. Now, it was also interesting because I was kind of looking at Google Trends in the past and whatnot, and the more I kind of thought about it, I'm like, who even searches Amazon? Like if you're an Amazon customer, you have the Amazon app now on your iPad or your phone or whatever it is, right? Like that's how I order from Amazon. Like I very rarely actually go to the old school website. I go to the app now at this point in time. So Prime Day is going on, and the interesting thing is Wall Street doesn't even put a lot of faith into this. So when you see Amazon stock up, it's actually not because of Prime Day. Like most of Wall Street actually doesn't even care about their e-commerce business. I know it's hard to even imagine because all of us as consumers, like we understand how important Amazon is to our lives, right? We likely place orders on Amazon every month, sometimes every week, sometimes, some people almost every day, right? And it's incredible to see that business, but ultimately what Wall Street really cares about is AWS because that's where all the profits come from. So you just got to understand, Amazon stock is really, at least in the short term, I don't think it's going to be like this long term, but in the short term, it's how is AWS doing? What are the feelings around AWS? And if feelings around AWS are getting more confident, that stock will continue to roar higher and higher. If they report accelerating growth at AWS, get ready for that baby to fly to, 150, 170, 190, and it'll happen pretty dang quickly. If, AWS continues to kind of lag, believe me, like people will kind of stay out of that one. Wall Street cares about AWS. E-commerce business, they're kind of like, that's cool. They don't really care. So here's a dilemma we have, okay? And a dilemma indeed. We look at a stock like Meta, right? Meta's doing us tremendous. Now, there's a couple scenarios that have been taking place in a stock like Meta. And this could go for a lot of these kind of big cap tech stocks that people look at and they really want to own these sorts of stocks. Let's call it what it is, okay? People have looked at the stock. It bottoms out at $88 a share back at Q4 of 2022, right? Then it goes up to $100, and people say, I'll wait for it to go back down to that $80 level. Then it goes up to $150. People are like, I'll wait for it to go back down to $100. Then it goes to $200. People are like, I'll wait for it to go back to $150, and then $250, and I'll wait until it goes back to $200, then $300, right? Nah, it's got to go back down to $250, right? And now the stock today, I believe, closed at, I think it was $313 a share, or something like that. Okay, I believe it's over $310 a share now at this point in time, right? And the stock just continues to roll and roll and roll. And you have folks saying, I'll wait till it comes down, and it just doesn't come down, and it just keeps going up and up and up. And so it's like, well, okay, now do you want to buy it at $313? Do you want to buy it at $413? It's really up to you, right? And obviously, you've had some folks that say, I'll take profits, right? I'll take profits as kind of time comes down. Now, if you're taking profits as the stock was going up, so let's say, it went to 150, you're like, I'm going to take some profits here. It went to 200, you're like, I'm going to take some profits here. Usually you're taking those profits because either you got a better place to put it or you're afraid that stock's going to go down, right? Otherwise, there's not a logical explanation to selling the stock. You either got to feel like there's a better place to put your money, or you got to feel like that stock price could go down, right? And obviously, it's done anything but go down. Some of that gets into trying to time the market. And when it comes to long-term investing, something I want you guys to always remember is, with great companies, it's usually not worth it to even try to time these things out. Usually, in most scenarios, you just hold through unless the valuation is so ridiculous that it's like, I got to get out of this. Then in that situation, I can understand it. But in Meta, that's never been the situation this entire year. You can never, and still to this day, even with Meta at 313, there's no way you can make a logical argument that Meta is overvalued. No way. It's not even literally possible. You might not want to own it for this reason or that reason, but you cannot even come close to arguing Meta is overvalued. So if you can't argue that at 313, you surely couldn't argue that at 150 or 200, right? Now, as time ticks on, right, more and more FOMO starts to build over time, right? At first, it's okay. People don't feel that much FOMO. They're like, oh, whatever, these stocks are going up. They're going to come back down, right? And they just keep going up month after month after month after month. And as time ticks on and the story becomes a little less bad with the markets overall, and it becomes a little better and better and better, right? More and more FOMO starts to build in. More and more bears start to give up on their bearish theses, and they start to say, you know what, I think I got to actually go long. I think I got to start buying these stocks. And we've seen that. If you look at data like the AAII investor sentiment, right, we've seen people start to flip from bearish over to neutral, and the neutral people starting to flip to bullish, right? And now there's more people bullish than neutral or bearish on the market, which is a big flip from basically everything we went through almost this entire year and up until about a month and a half ago, and basically all of 2022, everybody was just overwhelmingly bearish, right? So this is something we see playing out. And as time ticks on, you get more and more FOMO start to build, because there's a lot of people holding cash. There's a lot of people in short positions that have been getting slaughtered, right? And a lot of these people that have been kind of wary, like, I don't know about this market, I don't know about where things are headed, I don't know about inflation, all this stuff. They start to look and they're like, I just missed a 200% gain in Meta while I'm over here in cash, right? I just missed a 200% gain in Nvidia because I'm over here in cash. I just missed a 50% gain in this, super safe stock over here, and because I'm over here in cash. Like, what am I doing in cash? And so as time ticks on, more and more FOMO starts to build. People start to think, what the hell am I doing all in cash? I need to be in this market, okay? And that's the stage we're in right now, where that FOMO is starting to build. People are starting to look and say, I think I need to start going long. And you're seeing it when more and more, and we'll get into the Big Short man. He was on CNBC just a little while ago, and I'll tell you what he said. And you're starting to see with more and more of these bears are starting to go to that bullish side, right?